Welcome back to week 6 of Hand Technique Demystified. Today we're going to look at finger technique. So from our first gear that we've established during the last 2 weeks, we now move on to our smallest gear, our fingers. Finger technique creates less power but more speed and finesse and a lighter, more subtle touch than the free-stroke technique. For this we will start in the French position, as it is the most natural for using the fingers. Put your hand in the French position and create the fulcrum with your thumb and index finger. Now start bouncing the stick by loosely pulling your fingers in and letting go. Notice that this is the most natural movement for your fingers. Think about everything we've discussed last week and apply the same principles here. We're just loosely bouncing and allowing the stick to rebound fully until it's at a 90-degree angle to the floor. As we then increase speed, this angle gets narrower. You can also apply the principles of the full, down, tap and up stroke here. Full, down, tap, up. Full, down, tap, up. With your fingers as well. You may have difficulties playing with your fingers at first, so try this exercise to teach every single finger the movement. Let go of your middle, ring and little finger and create open bounce strokes by only engaging your index finger. Next, create open bounce strokes by only engaging your middle finger, but leave your index finger on the stick. This is the fulcrum here and doesn't change. A lot of people misunderstand the exercise, and when they move to their middle finger, they let go of their index finger. But this is the fulcrum, this stays, okay? But instead of bouncing the stick with your index finger, you now take your middle finger. Next, only use your ring finger. And last but definitely not least, your pinky. Create your own exercises to train each finger individually. And so on. Finally, put all your fingers back on the stick again. Make sure to have constant contact between all of your fingers and the stick. Again, don't underestimate the pinky. Once that finger has developed, it becomes a very powerful tool. So leave all your fingers on the stick. Don't spread the pinky away or do anything funny. All of them. And you should also, divide the power evenly between all of your fingers, They're all doing the exact same thing and every finger has the exact same impact. I'm not pushing more with my index finger and less with my pinky. It's a completely even distribution of force here. The thumb has only a passive role here, it's not moving actively, it's just holding. But this alone could be tricky, a lot of people tend to, lose the stick because they don't have enough contact here. You can also, curl it up a little bit, just a little bit, Experiment with different positions for your thumb in order to make that fulcrum stable. Don't overthink it, but also don't underestimate it. It has a passive role, but it has an important role. The next step would be to move to the German position and understand how the fingers move there. Okay, once we're in the German position, if we do the exact same thing now with our fingers that we did in the French position, we will unfortunately not create a stroke anymore. So you have to adjust your finger movement in order to be effective in the German position. It's kind of tricky, it needs a little adjustment. It's more of an, you're squeezing up a little bit. If you just curl in, you're creating a stroke parallel to the playing surface, which is useless. So you have to train your fingers to work in the German position as well. Generally, I find that the fully out German position is not ideal for only playing with your fingers, You will find it much easier to change to an at least some kind of American position where you can use your fingers much more easily. Again, American is a best of both worlds mix, so you get the kind of German wrist action going, but you have more usage of your fingers, like in French grip, when you're here. Once you change to the fully out German position, it becomes kind of difficult to use your fingers, and as I've said, that's also not the ideal position for only playing with your fingers. But it can be done, so experiment with that and find your own movements. That's it for today. We've now learned how to use the fingers in both the French and German position, and we're taking a look at traditional grip finger technique next week. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section or go to my website. Please hit like and subscribe and ring that notification bell. And see you all next Monday.